It's been 5 hours, and these crates should now drop a few coins. What the fuck? What's good everyone, I'm Enkrypt, and I make games. Recently I participated in Brackey's game jam. Now you might ask, Enkrypt, what's a game jam? A game jam is simply a competition where people have a limited amount of time to create a game based on a given theme. 4 days before the jam, I got to vote on a theme. These were the choices, but I picked Stronger Together and Blending Old and New, as I had some cool ideas for them. I waited for the countdown to end and their theme to be released. The theme was Stronger Together. I worked with my two good friends, Troy and Devon. Troy was the artist, and Devon created the music, because my art looks like shit. With that out of the way, this is how I made a game in 7 days. After a few hours of brainstorming, Troy and I decided we wanted to make a futuristic, tile-based game. We settled on this rough storyline. You used to fight robots with your brother, but he was killed in combat. Now, his soul has been enslaved by an evil corporation. It is your job to fight through evil robots to reach and destroy the beacon that is holding your brother's soul captive. However, his soul can fuse with your interface, giving you special abilities. Hence, you two are stronger together. I threw in some tiles from another project and began working on the player movement. Meanwhile, Troy started working on some concept art for the player. I wanted him to take inspiration from Yoru, an agent from Valorant. This is what the concept art looked like. Personally, I think he looks very cool. Finally, I added a broken health bar and a terrifying enemy that tries to kiss you. Square. On day 2, my main focus were the mechanics. Firstly, I needed to add shooting. I added orange squares that would act as bullets. This was my first attempt at a gun. Ah, shit. I fixed up the shooting, and I gave the squares the ability to fight back. I also made the squares drop monies, which you'd use to buy guns. Finally, the blue square that follows you will be your brother. I also had to make this epic splash screen.
Hey, but the boys! The boys!
Hey! Oh, that's broken, don't worry.
Hey!
By now I'd lost all my motivation, so I decided to play some Valorant with my boy Sam. On day 3, Troy made some concept art for the game. I threw in some wall tiles he made and added the crates which would drop coins. This is what the player model looked like. Next we discussed the coins. What currency would we have in the future? While discussing, we went a bit off topic. This is you.
Yeah, how are you gonna throw him under the bus like that, bro? Yo, you can't. Nah, dude.
We decided that the currency would be these energy cells. I added them to the game along with some trash 2D lighting. We needed some sound effects, so Devon cooked up some gun sounds. Next, to spice up the game, I experimented with some post-processing.
There we go. That's what you want.
Yeah!
Yes! Yeah, I'm blind!
We discussed the shop UI.
Dude! Let's see, dude. I'm actually getting so excited for this, man.
And I rigged up the enemy robots. Finally, I worked on level design, because boring levels equals bad game. Or, I don't know, I'm not a game dev. We were nearing the deadline, and I was yet to add any cool guns to the game. So, the first gun we added was the wave gun. Next, Troy created some glowing spires to fill up the levels. Then, we added the new shop UI. Finally, for the art today, we added Jim, as well as the animated teleporters that would take you to the next level. It's a teleport, dude. Ah, look at the ghost. And he bobs. I made him bob. Yeah, don't worry, we're invisible. Don't worry.
Boy.
The last two mechanics we added were the ultimate bar, which makes your guns go brrr, and the overheat bar that would stop you from spamming, essentially acting as ammo. At the end of day 5, I went to the community page to check how everyone was doing. The level still looked a bit empty, so we added these futuristic lights to the walls. We then worked on the main menu and added the rest of the guns. Finally, we discussed some sound effects.
The minigun.
Well, the minigun is no more.
It's not. We're
What?
still having
You
it.
telling me this now?
You
You need to get your shit together, man. I'm about to make sounds for a fucking minigun.
On the last day, Troy had the great idea to add in a melee weapon, the katana.
Ooh, yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that.
The sword is so satisfying.
It is, dude.
And he also roasted some particles I was making.
It looks like flint and steel, a piece of flint from Minecraft.
Look.
Look at the little piece of flint, man. They're bouncing, they're happy. Look.
They are. We did some playtesting with our friends, and with literally 10 minutes left, I submitted the game. Damn. What a week. We worked long hours to create Short Fuse, and 2 weeks later, the results were released. There were nearly 2,000 games submitted and over 30,000 ratings. We managed to come in the top 10%, ranking overall at 186. Considering this was our second game ever, I'd say that's pretty good. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, stop. This is Enkrypt from the future, here to tell you that I'm working on a huge update for Short Fuse. I've added new weapons, bosses, and much more, so if that interests you, then consider subscribing to see that video. Finally, I just want to say a massive thanks to Troy and Devon for helping me make this game, as it would not have been possible without them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys soon. Troy, do you want to marry me?
Not enough.
Am I busy?
Yeah. So, it's like a time.